And we are now hearing from legal experts about the unsealed indictment, as well as what to expect on Tuesday when former President Trump turns himself into the federal courthouse in Miami. Steve King joins us outside Mar-a-Lago with what the Palm Beach state attorney and a former Department of Justice trial attorney have to say.
The experts I spoke with agree that former President Trump will likely walk out of the federal courthouse in Miami shortly after his court appearance. They also say regardless of what Trump and many of his supporters say, this federal indictment is not politically motivated. Palm Beach County State Attorney Dave Aronberg reflecting on the unsealed indictment.
This is about the jeopardizing of our national secrets that could put human intelligence sources at risk, as well as nuclear capabilities. I mean, this is serious stuff. This is stuff that would get anyone else prosecuted. If I did this, I would have been prosecuted and sentenced yesterday.
He says the indictment shows former President Trump himself was directly involved in the alleged crimes.
You can't let this conduct go unchallenged. You have to pursue it, because if you're allowed to get away with this, then this means that our intelligence laws, our obstruction laws, our espionage laws mean nothing.
Aronberg says a few factors point to this investigation not being politically motivated, including the special counsel's choice of the Southern District of Florida courthouse in Miami as the place the case is heard.
Jack Smith did not indict this himself. He had to get a grand jury in a red state in Trump's backyard to indict him. And that's what happened. So to say this is somehow Joe Biden directing it is totally ignorant of the facts of what went on here.
Former Department of Justice Criminal Division senior trial attorney and current South Florida criminal defense attorney Richard Serafini says Trump will likely not have his fingerprints or mugshot taken on Tuesday, and he'll likely be out on bond or on his own recognizance right after his appearance in court. He says any possible trial would likely not be for at least a year or two, but Serafini thinks the general public will most likely not see the actual documents seized from Mar-a-Lago regardless of how the case plays out.
The court will, the jurors will, but it's really unlikely that during the course of the trial, secret documents that are the centerpiece of an espionage charge are going to be published and released to the public. It kind of defeats the whole purpose of bringing the charge in the first place.
I also spoke with a constitutional expert who says even if Trump is convicted of these federal crimes, he will still be able to run for president and serve as president if he's elected in 2024. Reporting from Palm Beach, Steve King, WPBF 25 News.